Greetings, Madam Chair, members of the council. I'm Captain Dan Chadwick with the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife's Enforcement Program. Last year we may have shot ourselves in the foot by doing the Tri-State Report video style, but in the spirit of rugged justice, we thought we'd try it again. So here we go.
Once was a lonely soul caught out in the rain. She came and rescued me from all my pain. Far as I could tell, I was already gone. And her love sheltered me and helped me move on. I'm free, I'm alive. I said I'm alive 'cause I'm I'm lying now. Wake every morning, smile and a kiss. She fills my life with moments I don't want to miss. Can't believe it took me this long to say I'll do anything to make her stay, 'cause I'm free, I'm alive. I said I'm alive 'cause I'm free, I'm alive. I said I'm alive now. Down, my mind's on her. Makes me forget the bad, the way things were. She's my light, she holds my flame. She give me everything and I do the same. 'Cause I'm free, I'm alive. I said I'm alive 'cause I'm.
As part of the Joint Enforcement Agreement, troopers and officers from each state focused enforcement effort on priorities outlined through close coordination with NOAA, Office of Law Enforcement West Coast Division. These priorities included groundfish, highly migratory species, coastal pelagic species, salmon and habitat, marine mammals, and violations of the Lacey Act. Working together, troopers and officers dedicated more than 26,000 hours directed toward federal priorities. The states also logged a total of 78,613 enforcement contacts with recreational anglers and commercial harvesters. Additionally, the states conducted inspections of more than 1,300 wholesale and retail dealers, markets, and restaurants. With the assistance of NOAA OLE and the United States Coast Guard, OSP Fish and Wildlife Division drafted an enforcement plan focused on the commercial halibut fishery off the Oregon coast. The plan utilized multiple assets, including USCG cutters Dorado and Orcas, air support based out of North Bend, OSP's patrol vessel Guardian, coastal RHIs, and multiple shoreside troopers and OLE officers. With tremendous interagency cooperation and coordination, enforcement assets were able to provide a presence throughout the entire Oregon coast. This joint venture resulted in relatively positive compliance, though noted violations included improper release methods, undersized halibut, and safety violations. Again, in 2015, the Oregon State Police drafted a coastal commercial salmon enforcement plan. This plan prioritized enforcement of recreational and commercial salmon regulations, specifically on bag limits, landing limits, prohibited species, and methods. Additionally, the U.S. Coast Guard and NOAA OLE assisted with this enforcement plan, utilizing both vessel and shoreside assets. Overall, compliance with regulations remained consistent with previous years. Violations included failure to validate, barbed hooks and spread violations, prohibited species, and failure to sell commercially caught fish. The 2015 Tri-State Detail focused on directed enforcement efforts on the take of federally managed fisheries aboard commercial passenger charter boats. This detail was selected by the enforcement consultants based on the likelihood of potential violations that may be encountered in all 3 states. This enforcement effort was conducted from June through September 2015 and involved both dockside and offshore vessel patrols, as well as undercover operations. Officers focused on vessels that were targeting rockfish, salmon, or HMS species. Operation Tri-State resulted in more than 500 directed hours, with 1,288 contacts and over 100 violations. Undercover operations also resulted in the apprehension of multiple individuals operating unlicensed charter or commercial businesses.
The infrastructure, cultural diversity, and worldwide market connections on the West Coast have made it an attractive place for national and international brokers, importers, and exporters to operate. State officers know that freight forwarders, retail markets, airports, and cold storage facilities provide limitless opportunities to identify illegally harvested products linked to domestic and international fisheries. These places are choke points that state officers have the legal authority to inspect, and that's exactly what we did. NOAA Office of Law Enforcement recognized our role in the fight against IUU fishing and enhanced our GAA budgets to leverage the state's capabilities. As a result, the Tri-State Cooperative worked on a pulse operation plan designed to intercept illegal seafood and trace it back to source. Intense inspections occurred in the marketplace and along the 2 U.S. borders this year. State uniformed line officers conducted the majority of the inspection work, with detective units supporting them. State analysts collected seafood import data from the NOAA OLE analysts and identified previously unknown seafood importers within the states, along with large volume seafood importers, importers receiving seafood from suspected IUU violator countries, and those receiving IUU target species imports. Throughout the operation, many violations were discovered, some of which resulted in expanded investigations. Here are a few of them. WDFW SIU detectives and NOAA OLE special agents from Washington and California collaborated on a Lacey Act, unlawful trafficking in fish, shellfish, and wildlife, and forgery case against a Washington State wholesale fish dealer. The case originally involved the discovery by customs officials of a suspect smuggling fish maw from an endangered species into California from Mexico. NOAA agents also found invoices for Washington geoduck clams shipped to a San Francisco furniture company with ties to the smuggling suspect. NOAA OLE passed the information on to a WDFW detective so the origin of the geoduck could be determined. In Washington, the detectives discovered massive amounts of illegal and unreported fish and shellfish had been purchased from treaty Indian fishermen. In total, the investigation uncovered over 24,000 pounds of illegal and unreported fish and shellfish shipped throughout the country. The case is currently under review by both the U.S. Attorney and King County Prosecutor's Office. Moving south, Oregon troopers received information from California wardens that a subject who lived in that state was believed to be illegally selling salmon in Oregon. California wardens followed the suspect with salmon to a retail shop in Eagle Point, Oregon, where they observed the suspect offload fish. After several days of surveillance, again followed the suspect to the Oregon retail store with a cooler full of salmon. The investigation determined that the salmon were being sold for $4 per pound, and neither the deliverer or the market were licensed or documenting the fish. Many of the successes during the Tri-State Pulse Op were tied directly to the partner states' history of collaborating with one another. As you can see, we share each other's violators in one fashion or another. For instance, Oregon troopers gained intelligence that a Washington state man was illegally selling sport-caught coho salmon. Both states worked on the suspect covertly, eventually making cases related to the illegal sales. The result of these operations demonstrated that IUU is a shared problem. Violators understand that crossing borders is an effective means to laundering stolen natural resources. But as law enforcement continues to expand jurisdictional reach through collaboration and intelligence sharing, offenders can still be touched. Thank you.
Gonna put the world away for a minute, pretend I don't live in it. Sunshine gonna wash my blues away. Had sweet love, but I lost it. She got too close, so I fought it. Now I'm lost in the world, trying to find me a better way. Wishing I was deep in the water somewhere. Got the blue sky breeze and it don't seem fair. Only worry in the world is the tide gonna reach my chair. Sunrise, there's a fire in the sky. Never been so happy, never felt so high. And I think I might have found me my own kind of paradise.
Wrote a note, said be back in a minute. Bought a boat and I sailed off in it. Don't think anybody's gonna miss me anyway. Mind on a permanent vacation. The ocean is my only medication. Wishing my condition ain't ever gonna go away.
Cause now I'm deep in the water somewhere. Got the blue sky breeze blowing wind through my hair. Only worry in the world is the tide gonna reach my chair. Sunrise, there's a fire in the sky. Never been so happy, never felt so high. And I think I might have found me my own kind of paradise. This champagne shore washing over me.
It's a sweet, sweet life, living by the salty sea.
One day you could be as lost as me.
Change your geography, and maybe you might be.
Knee deep in the water somewhere. Got the blue sky breeze blowing wind through my hair. Only worry in the world is the tide gonna reach my chair. Sunrise, there's a fire in the sky. Never been so happy, never felt so high. And I think I might have found me my own kind of paradise. Come on in, the water's nice. Find yourself a little slice. Grab a backpack and lunch. You never know until you try. When you lose yourself,
You find the key to paradise.